What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, your go-to place for all the latest sports news, rumors, and in-depth analysis. And today, we've got something that is just straight up mind-blowing. I know I've got your attention now because there is a rumor floating around that has NFL fans across the world losing their minds. Could the king himself, Derrick Henry, leave the Tennessee Titans and head to the Dallas Cowboys? When I first heard about this, I had to do a double take. But the more you dig into it, the more it makes sense. The Cowboys are already a Super Bowl contender, and adding Derrick Henry could push them over the edge and finally get them back to that championship level. Before we break down every angle of this, I want you to do me a solid. Smash that like button if you're as pumped as I am about this crazy rumor, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and make sure to turn on those notifications because you do not want to miss out on any of the big moves happening around the NFL. Alright, let's dive right into this. So, who exactly is Derrick Henry? Let's take a quick look at this absolute monster of a player. Derrick Henry is not your average running back. He's a freak of nature literally. At 6'3" and 247 pounds, Henry is built like a linebacker, but he runs like a gazelle, trucking through defenders like they're paper. When you think of the NFL's most dominant running backs, Derrick Henry is a name that comes to mind instantly. He's been the heart and soul of the Tennessee Titans offense for years, taking handoff after handoff and putting the team on his back, especially in crucial moments. In fact, Henry has been so dominant, he's often compared to some of the all-time greats like Jim Brown and Earl Campbell. Henry has been putting up jaw-dropping numbers season after season. In 2024, for example, he rushed for over 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns, all while facing stacked boxes week in and week out because everyone knew the Titans' game plan revolved around him. We've seen Henry break long runs, stiff-arm defenders, and just dominate games when it matters most. His power and speed are unmatched, and it's not just his physical tools that make him a standout, it's his mentality. He has the mindset of a gladiator, and that's what makes him so dangerous. But here's the thing, Henry isn't getting any younger. While he's still playing at a high level, he's in his late 20s, and there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to keep up his production for much longer. The Titans have a new head coach and a new vision, and there's a real possibility that they'll want to move on from Henry and start fresh. A player like Henry, who's been the face of the franchise for so long, would have a ton of value in trade discussions. That's where the Cowboys come in, and honestly, it makes a ton of sense. The Dallas Cowboys have been a playoff team for the last few years, and they've built an impressive roster. They've got Dak Prescott, who's one of the top quarterbacks in the league when healthy. He's got the ability to make plays through the air, and his leadership has been key to the Cowboys' success. CeeDee Lamb is quickly emerging as one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and the Cowboys also have a solid receiving core around him. On top of that, the Cowboys' defense is one of the scariest units in the league. With guys like Micah Parsons, who's an absolute beast, and Trevon Diggs making plays in the secondary, this is one of the most well-rounded teams in the NFL. And this is a big but, the Cowboys have always had a problem when it comes to having a reliable, workhorse running back. Ezekiel Elliott, for all his past greatness, has been a shadow of his former self in recent years. We saw Zeke take a step back in 2024, struggling to break tackles and put up big yardage numbers. It became clear that the Cowboys couldn't rely on him to carry the load the way they once did. Enter Tony Pollard. Pollard has flashed big play ability and can definitely contribute in a more traditional running back role, but he hasn't shown that he's a true, every down back who can handle the workload that a player like Henry can. Pollard is great, but the Cowboys need someone who can consistently dominate on the ground. That's where Derrick Henry would be a perfect fit for the Cowboys. Imagine Henry in that backfield, next to Dak Prescott, with all the weapons around him. You've got a running back who can carry the ball 25 times a game, grind out tough yards, and wear down opposing defenses. Henry is also capable of breaking off big runs, and with the Cowboys' offensive line, which has been solid over the years, he could really thrive. He'd be the kind of player who could take the pressure off Doc, allowing the Cowboys to control the clock, dictate the pace of the game, and keep opposing defenses on their heels. With Henry in the backfield, defenses would no longer be able to focus solely on stopping the pass. They'd have to account for Henry's power and speed, which would open up even more opportunities for Doc and the receivers. And then there's the most important aspect of all of this: winning the Super Bowl. The Cowboys are so close, and they know it. They've been contenders, but they just haven't been able to get over that hump. The addition of a player like Derrick Henry could be that missing piece that finally helps them get back to the Super Bowl. We know Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, is a man who is always looking for ways to improve his team and take risks to build a winner. He's pulled off big trades in the past, and he's never been afraid to go after a superstar player when he believes it can make a difference. If Jerry sees the opportunity to land Derrick Henry, you better believe he'll make a move. Now, let's talk about the logistics of a potential trade. Derrick Henry is still under contract with the Titans for at least one more season. So, the Cowboys would need to work out a trade package that satisfies both sides. The Titans would likely want a pretty hefty return for someone as valuable as Henry, which could include draft picks and potentially a player or two. The Cowboys have a decent amount of cap space, which is important, because Henry is due for a big contract extension soon. But with the right moves and adjustments to their salary cap, the Cowboys could make this happen. They've got the assets, whether it's draft picks or young talent, to make a deal that would benefit both teams. Let's take a moment to consider the reaction from Cowboys fans and NFL fans in general. Social media has exploded with reactions to the rumor. Cowboys fans are straight up ecstatic at the thought of adding Derrick Henry to the team. Can you imagine how crazy it would be to see Henry running through the Cowboys' offensive line, wearing the star on his helmet, and scoring touchdowns in Jerry World? The excitement would be through the roof. On the other hand, there are some fans who are a bit more cautious. They wonder if trading for Henry at this point in his career is the right move. Is he worth the risk, given his age and injury history? But regardless of where fans fall on this issue, one thing is clear: the thought of Henry wearing a Cowboys jersey has sparked major conversation. Now, let's also consider the impact this move would have on the rest of the NFC. If the Cowboys land Derrick Henry, they instantly become one of the top teams in the conference. They're already contenders, but adding a true game-changing running back would elevate them to a whole new level. It would put the entire NFC on notice. The Cowboys would become an even bigger threat to teams like the San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles, and the road to the Super Bowl would run through Dallas. This would be the type of move that could redefine the NFC landscape for years to come. So, where do we go from here? Will Derrick Henry actually end up in Dallas? It's too early to say, but the possibility is definitely there. With the Cowboys in win-now mode and the Titans looking to rebuild, this could be one of the most exciting trades we see this offseason. If Jerry Jones is serious about bringing a championship to Dallas, trading for Derrick Henry could be the move that puts them over the top. This would be a bold statement to the entire league: the Cowboys are here to win it all. Alright, now I want to hear from you, the fans. What do you think? Would Derrick Henry be the missing piece the Cowboys need to win the Super Bowl? Or do you think the risks outweigh the reward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like this video if you're hyped about this potential move, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates, trade rumors, and analysis on everything NFL. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go Cowboys. Peace.